On today's video, we're doing pizza on the Blackstone. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways, and today we're in our outdoor kitchen because we tried to shoot this video camping with our niece and nephew, Sean and Sue, and one of their daughters, Rebecca. Hello, everyone. But it did not go as planned, and we're going to explain why as we're starting our stuff. So I'm Sheila, this is Joe, and we started this YouTube channel because I started eating a very close to whole food plant-based diet to cure my migraines, and Joe still eats the standard American diet, and we want to show you that it's really not that hard to do. So today we're going to do pizzas on the Blackstone. A lot of people now have these, maybe not a Blackstone, but a version of a, what is this, cast iron flat top. Okay, so as you can see, Joe has oil and butter on his side over here. So he's going to just stick with the classic pepperoni and cheese pizza, and I'm going to do a veggie. So I've got in here mushrooms, red pepper, onion, and a couple Kalamata olives. So I'm going to get this going on my side of the Blackstone and get this going, and then we're going to talk about what we're doing. Now you can see Joe is cooking his crust. So just like, not yet, but cooking the pepperoni. So we have also watched several YouTube videos to figure out, where's the cover so I could do the veg. This is water. I'm just gonna put a little water on here. Oh, perfect. Okay, so we've watched some videos of how people have done it, and that's how Joe came up with this idea. So when you think about this, on your Blackstone, it's not going to be the long time it takes when you cook in the oven. So your toppings, your cheese will melt, but your toppings might not be cooked the way they would be if you were cooking them in the oven. So to help with that and kind of speed that process along and still get the end product that you want, we did discover about cooking the pepperoni ahead of time and cooking the veggies ahead of time, especially on the veggies if you like your veggies more tender. So that's what I'm doing here today, and that's what I did on our camping trip. Where we went wrong on the camping trip was we tried to use fresh dough. I had gotten dough at Trader Joe's. I love their dough there. And we worked the dough, we worked the dough, we worked the dough. We put it on parchment paper inside the RV. We got outside to the Blackstone. When we tried to flip it, it didn't flip correctly. Then we couldn't spread it out. It was kind of a hot mess. So we were like, okay, this video is not going to work out. We did finally get, luckily I had three pizza doughs. We had 5 of us there. We had cut each of them in half. So we technically had 6 pizzas for 5 people. So the first one was a disaster. So that went in the trash. We never even got toppings on it. But we were able to salvage everything enough that all 5 of us got a pizza. And we had the toppings separate. So like Joe had the pepperoni. My niece and nephew had done some sausage. One of the nieces does not like mushrooms. So we had mushrooms cooked separately. And then we had peppers and onions cooking. And then we took everything off. And then everybody put their pizza crust on the Blackstone, added their toppings, and then we covered them up and everybody got pizza. And it worked really well. So just like we talk about with the potato bars and the salad bars and all those things, it's as easy what you can do. So I'm going to steam. So this is our cover. So by putting some water on there, do you have my side up pretty high?
Not yet.
Huh?
No.
Do you want to do that?
If you think you need a little more heat,
just a little bit more.
Yeah, I wouldn't go.
Okay. So when you spritz a little water on there, then you're going to allow it to steam. So I want to get those veggies to start steaming. So for today's video, we went with some like partially cooked pizza crusts. Now here's the issue. There's not many in my town that are whole wheat, oil free. And I don't have anywhere without going an hour and a half one way or the other to find something like that. And that just wasn't in the cards today. So this is one of those where it's not as whole food plant-based that I would like, but it's probably not going to cause me a migraine either. I figured out pretty much what were the triggers. So we're going to be fine with this. But this is one of the ways where sometimes one of us compromises on something just to make it easier. Yes, I could have done whole wheat pita bread. We thought about French bread pizzas would be an idea. We thought about English muffin pizzas. You could use very different crusts, but in this case, we went with this one. And this is perfect because he'll eat 2 and I'll eat 1. So that's how we're going to handle that today. So we are curious in the comments if you have a suggestion about what dough for us to use. Now, I could have used a whole wheat lavash bread, but again, I can only find that at Trader Joe's. I can find lavash bread, but it's not oil-free. So in this case, we went with these. Now, Joe, are you ready to do your garlic butter crust?
Have you talked about the pepperoni?
Yes, I told them how we did that on camping. You cooked the pepperoni, we did the veg, and all that stuff. So
yeah, there was another video out there that I got this idea of pre-cooking your pepperoni, because the cooking process is going to be fairly quick once you actually start the pizza. So cooking the pepperoni up front kind of helps give it that crustiness, if you will, to it. So what I've got here is the leftover, like Sheila said, there's a little bit of oil, a little bit of butter, and a little bit of the pepperoni juices. And what we're going to do now
for him
is, for my pizza, is I'm going to season this oil by putting some garlic in here that'll cook in with the oil when we kind of pre-bake these, or pre-fry, pre-bake, whatever you want to call them. And that garlic oil will soak into that crust to help give a little.
So he's going to have like a garlic butter crust. I think it was the same video the guy did the pepperoni. He had this idea. It made Joe very excited. So that's what Joe is doing with his. And I believe that's what Sean and Sue and Rebecca and you did when you guys made the pizzas on camping, right?
I didn't mind, but I think we were too fast having to. We used fresh dough the first time we tried to do this process, and I don't know if I'd recommend it unless you've got time to really work the dough and get it the way you want it.
Maybe one of the kind that is rolled up in a, I think doesn't like a Pillsbury make it, where it's in the pop can like biscuits, and then you roll it out. That might work, just because it's meant for, you've got to roll it out and stuff. That might work, but you also need to, we did decide, because we didn't have it camping, is you need some sort of cover so that you can get the cheese to melt, or just to get the entire pizza hot. Because, so what Joe's doing is he's cooking on the bottom side. No, he's cooking the top side first, getting his garlic butter, and then when he flips it, he's going to add his sauces, cheese, and pepperoni, and then he's going to put this lid on it. So right now, I've just got using the lid to get my veggies to be to get them tender, which I prefer them more tender anyway. So what I did was I cut the peppers and the onions smaller than the mushrooms, because they're going to need a little bit more time than the mushrooms will. And the Kalamata olives, I just cut them, and that's just really to get some of that salty flavor. And then I did find an oil-free, what do you call that, pizza sauce. And we have found, Joe, when we make homemade pizza at home, Joe's not as big of a fan of marinara sauce as his pizza sauce. His pizza sauce is thicker, so we do try to get just pizza sauce. You want the spoon for your pizza sauce? Oh, what do you need?
I'm just debating.
Okay. See, sometimes it's a working in action, so you're seeing it all happen right now.
Well, most everybody's got some sort of weight that they use for their keeping burgers flat, or whatever the case might be. I'm just putting that on there for a couple minutes just to make sure it stays nice and flat while I'm grilling this side up.
I'm going to put my crust on, and I just need to get mine hot before so this should be the top side, so I'm going to put that down first to get that going.
Oh yeah.
So there you go.
So yeah, I got a little bit of toastiness going on here, so that's perfect. So I know I'm going to have a nice crispy toast, crispy crust.
And he doesn't like as much sauce as I do, so it's perfect when we're making our own, because then we don't, do our own thing on how much one person wants. Another reason to have a pizza bar. And I've done pizza bar with my friends before, and that always goes over well. And we will show you when we take this back upstairs inside the kitchen how we're going to serve it, because I'm going to serve it. I have a special topping to put on the top I want to show you. And also I'm having a salad with mine. So I've got my salad already prepped up there. And Joe's just going to have his 2 pizzas. And I think it's going to be a movie night because we've both been outside today. It's a little warm and we're a little tired. So mine, once you get yours ready for the lid, I'm going to give you the lid and I'll put sauce on mine. So.
And you never know how many pepperoni to cook. If I have to, I can always put more on if I need to and add them after the pizza's basically cooked. But these did get nice and crispy, just the way I want them. And I got one for in the middle here.
You want more cheese before you put the lid on? Nope, he needs, here's our pizza seasoning that I've done a video on. I might try to link that below when my seasonings video.
And now I can cover mine, and basically at this point, it's the baking process is all we...
Can you hand me the pizza sauce, please? Thank you. So now I'm going to load mine up. I'm a heavy pizza saucer. So again, we would like to know in the comments if you have had success with pizza on the Blackstone and what was your successful crust, because we do need to know that for the future, because we're still going to continue to try with a more fresh crust or a whole wheat crust. But for now, this is as best we could get done. So I'm just going to add all my cooked veg.
You want a bigger spatula?
No, I was just going to use... That's why I brought out extra.
So yeah, this whole process, after we did it when we were camping, thought of all these other ideas. Basically,
it's getting hot.
You could use French bread and toast the, cut it in half, lay it face down, and then toast it, and then add that to your creating your pizza.
What I would recommend on that is that's no different than when we did the video with the, when we made the 4-foot sub, is you would definitely need to cut your bottom so that it will lay flat once you add your toppings to it. Now I am going to add a little bit of water so that it will steam this.
Yes,
this one?
No.
Oh, the cleaning one? So keep that in mind. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. Sorry about that, guys. I was worried about getting him the right tool. Oh yeah, the French fried pizza. Because sometimes it's more round than flat, and then you don't want that going like this while you're trying to add your toppings. So if you cut it just a little bit so that you can get more flat surface, then as you're adding your toppings, that would work. Another easy way, and what do you call that? English muffins. If you've got some English muffins you need to use, you could do it that way. You could also do a pizza grilled cheese. Sue did that on one of the days we were trying to finish like leftovers, and she just put some cheese on the bread with the toasted pepperonis. So it's you don't have to just do traditional pizza. Think of what you need to use up in your cupboards, in your freezer, and your fresh ingredients, and then go from there. Just like these pizza toppings, when you cut, that was 2 mushrooms, 2 white button mushrooms, 1 side of a red bell pepper, and I don't know, maybe a 1/2 inch thick thing of onion. So it could take some ingredients and you'll make them go far. Even if you need to cut the pepperonis into half, so they go further, you can do that too. So let's check how mine's looking.
So it doesn't take long. You
Look
can
at
see how mine have already crusted up. Cheese melted real quick. And I had this turned down on low. So you got to be real careful with your Blackstone. You don't, or whatever type brand you have, your flat top. Keep it low because it typically runs probably 350, 375, which is about where you would cook a pizza in your house. So you don't want to have this burning flaming hot because you'll just fry everything way too quick.
Yeah, you don't want that.
But other than that, it's a quick, simple way of doing it. Now, next time we go camping, we got the process down. I have a feeling these are going to be very good. They're nice and crusty on the bottom side, but not burnt. Just good. Almost looks like what do they call it? A fire grill pizza from one of those places. But the pepperonis and the seasoning and everything, these are going to be good.
And if you camp, these kinds of crusts, they are shelf stable, so you wouldn't have to use your fridge or your cooler space. I just bought these off the shelf today, and they just laid on the counter until we did our videos tonight. So it's a good option for those of us that have smaller RVs. Back when we were in our pop-up, it would have been good because our fridge has always been very small in all of our RVs. So I would imagine we'll leave space for me to put my pizza. That mine should be ready to go. Oh, look at that. But now mine needs the finishing topping upstairs. So I'm going to take mine off. I'm going to need that spoon. Okay, guys, so we'll see you back upstairs so we can give this a try, and I'll show you my way to finish my pizza. We'll see you in a few. Okay, so we're back upstairs. I've got the crust on the cutting board so I can cut it with a knife. And I want to show you that I learned this, I think, in one of those Blaze pizza or something, where you go along the line, you pick out all your toppings, and they had at the end arugula. So I have a combination of baby arugula and baby spinach, and I am going to break some of that up and put it on my pizza. And then for the final topping, I was never a huge fan of arugula until I tried this, and I was like, this is amazing. He's putting crushed red pepper on our pizzas. I will take some too. I do like it spicy. Sometimes I put, banana peppers. And then I'm going to drizzle some balsamic vinegar on top of it. Choosing hickory because that's what I went for first. And you don't need much. You just need a little. If you have balsamic glaze, that would also work. Ooh, buddy, this is going to be phenomenal. Do you want to use the pizza cutter for yours, and I'll use that for mine?
That's fine.
So they can hear how the pizzas are cooked.
All right, we'll see how this cuts.
This is going to be so good. There are more and more places that sell vegan pizza with the vegan cheese. Not all the vegan cheeses are good. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I'd rather just have no cheese on my pizza. I haven't found one that I truly like that much that is worth it. But in a pinch, sometimes that'll work. So let's give this a try. It's going to be messy because I got salad. Basically, I have salad on top of mine. But boy, is it going to taste so good.
Yeah, this got nice and crusty. And I could have put more cheese on if I wanted to, but for the first time, getting it out there, making sure it melted. But other than that, tastes just like pizza.
Simple and a very inexpensive meal. I don't remember how much the crusts were, but that bag of pepperoni will last Joe, I don't know, a couple months, if not longer. Sometimes I even freeze half the package because he's the only one that eats it.
Maybe 10 pepperoni I put on for each pizza.
Yeah. So it's going to be perfect. And then I also have a salad to go with mine. So this is a perfect date night dinner. So thank you all so much for joining us, and let us know in the comments, what have you tried to do on the Blackstone regarding pizza, and do you have any suggestions for us? So thank you all so much for joining us. And if you like what you see, if you learned anything or just got enjoyment out of watching Joe and I cook, you could hit that like button, or even better, subscribe. See you next week.